Hi, my name is Rn6. I'm a singer-songwriter and guitar player here in New York City, and I'm here to talk to you about my in-ear monitors. I've been a professional musician since around 2010, and mainly focusing in weddings and concerts as a sideman guitar player. And I got my first pair of custom in-ear monitors in 2013. Obviously, the technology back then is not what it is now. But at the time, I loved the ideas of custom in-ear monitors. It brought a certain level of isolation to block out other instruments and dial in my own mixes. My busiest year, I did over 180 events. So the in-ear monitors not only helped with my playing to hear myself on a nightly basis, but it also protected my hearing. After many years of using the same in-ears, my head shape changed, and I also started pursuing my own artist career, where I started releasing my own music as well as growing my Instagram page with intimate covers of popular songs, and grew it to over 70,000 followers as of today. Now that I've been pursuing my own artist career, different shows and opportunities have come up that have brought me to different stages and theaters and venues that presented different challenges for me, because now I was not only a guitar player, but I was a vocalist as well. And my in-ears from 2013 were not cutting it anymore. I did my research on in-ear monitors and was going back and forth from a variety of companies, and everyone offers amazing products. I was on a particular show where my friend Nick, who is an amazing sound engineer, he said, you should check out the guys at FIR Audio. They are making some of the top in-ears today. So I hopped onto their website, checked them out, and I saw that they had a plethora of today's top talent and artists on their roster using their in-ear monitors. So I was immediately intrigued, and I started doing my research on the in-ear monitors. It became pretty clear fast that these were the in-ears that I wanted. The real question was, which in-ears should I get? I was automatically intrigued by their Frontier series. There were 3 models in their Frontier series that I was very interested in. The top model being the Rn6s. Those looked amazing. Then they had the Krypton 5s and the Neon 4s. I spent a lot of time doing research, trying to figure out which in-ear was the best for me as not only a guitar player, but as a vocalist as well. Of my research that I saw, the Rn6s provide a very lush and warm sound, which as a guitar player is great. I wouldn't have a brittle guitar in my ear. I've tried some generic in-ears, and that's something I had a lot of problems with, so that really intrigued me about the Xenon. The Krypton was my next option because users of it seem to love the fact of how bright and open it is, and it's great for vocalists. Except I was nervous about the guitar being a little bit too bright in my ears. So I wasn't exactly sure what to do. Then I scrolled down. I discovered that due to popular demand, FIR Audio came out with a model called the Rn6s. The Rn6s seem to be a hybrid or a blend of what the Rn6s provide in terms of warmth and fullness and space, and what the Krypton 5s provide, which is bright centered openness. So I needed to find a way to go ahead and try out all these in-ears. So FIR recommended I go to their representative in the city, and I sat down with 3 pairs of in-ears: the Rn6s, the Krypton 5s, and the Rn6s. The Rn6s were extremely warm. I was actually a little bit nervous to hear how my vocal would pop out on them. Although I wasn't using them, I was using a generic model with the soft tips, although it sounded amazing and lush. The Krypton 5s sounded extremely open and clear, and I'm sure my vocals would have sounded amazing in them, but like I said, was nervous about the guitar. The Rn6 does something completely different, and let me preface, they are a limited edition, and I'll kind of read out a lot of the specs and different things as I go through this review so that you can understand a little bit more about it. I chose the Rn6s. I got my molds done that day in that office over there, and here's a picture of me with the bite, especially as a vocalist. So you want to be able to, when you're opening your mouth and closing your mouth consistently when you're singing, that your in-ears should not become dislodged. So the bite there helps create a good shape in your ear. It was a great experience getting my molds done, and off they went to FIR Audio. First of all, they are incredible because when I selected all my colors, I'm terrible with decisions, just absolutely terrible. I wasn't sure what color, so I literally chose all matte black, which is really cool. But then I kind of got, a little FOMO of some of the cool designs, and I wanted something nice with wood, so here they are, my in-ears. And we'll post a close-up of them in a second, but you can see it's the matte black with wood burl on the faceplate. But they have so many cool options. You can put your own logo on them. They're amazing. And when I called them to ask them to switch it, they were super accommodating, and before I know it, the in-ears were here. Luckily, I had a show the night I got my in-ears, so I decided I was going to try them out. And here is my review after now a bunch of gigs just on guitar, concerts with me playing guitar and singing, sometimes just singing, and as a music listener, what I have found. I also want to say that I love using these when I'm tracking in the studio. There's no bleed. I've been tracking acoustic guitars for my new record, and these have been amazing because I hear everything amazing, but there's no bleed, no click bleed, no anything in the microphones, and so it's a great studio tool to use. What I found during these gigs was that my guitars, usually panned a little bit to the side, were very nice, warm, and lush. No brittleness at all, no brightness, no piercing sounds at all as far as the guitars, neither from any of the other instruments in the band. What I did find extremely, extremely interesting is that when I was singing, my vocal had a little bit of compression and effects right up front, my vocal just popped right out front, to the point where I was like, whoa, I was very taken aback because I struggled to hear my vocals in a balance with my old in-ears. So with the Radon 6s, suddenly my vocal just sat right on top of this warm, lush mix. It had elements of the Krypton 5 that the vocal was super bright. What I found myself is that I didn't need my vocals super loud in my in-ears as I did in my previous in-ears. The vocals just kind of tucked back, sat right on top of the music, and perfect. I was able to hear myself, and as a matter of fact, I saw some videos from my first performance with them, and I have to say, my pitch was probably best that I've heard myself in a long time because I just heard myself extremely well. I was able to get into key right away. Now, I'll go through some of the specs on the Radon 6s. I have my phone here and the website. First of all, it's limited to 300 production units. Those are the standard ones with the tips. They're fantastic, and the custom ones are limited to 100 units worldwide and only 20 units produced a month. I'm very fortunate that I was able to get one. I really love them. And they come at a retail of $3,299 USD. They are amazing. One of the things that I really like about them, especially being on loud stages, and sometimes like bass can get like really out of hand when it comes to in-ears, is their kinetic bass driver. Dialing in bass in these in-ears is a different experience altogether. I'm actually able to bring in bass into my in-ears and not have it overwhelm the in-ears. It's also great when you're listening to music. You can actually hear bass nice and clear. They have 2 open driver mid-BA drivers, 1 open driver high mid-BA driver, 1 open driver high BA driver with a sound reflector, 1 open driver ultra high electrostatic driver. Frequency range is from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Impedance is 28 ohms. Now, I personally am not the biggest techie. I can't tell you exactly what all these drivers do, but I can give you an honest review as a musician who is performing consistently between weddings, concerts, private events, and I try and use in-ears as much as possible. I've had vocal issues before of especially drying out or fatigue or straining, and having in-ears has changed the game for me. Now that I have the FIR for audio Radon 6s, I'm experiencing something totally different. I don't feel the need to push anymore. I don't feel the need to strain. I'm able to hear myself. I'm able to lock in on pitch, and I'm able to hear my guitars really, really well, which is a really, really nice bonus. if you're in the market for in-ear monitors, they definitely are on the pricier side compared to some other brands. But let me tell you, there's a reason why so many pros are using this. And this is my own observations from the artists. I've seen my favorite artist, John Mayer, played at the Sphere with Dead & Company using the Xenon 6s, Post Malone, Sabrina Carpenter, a lot of, you know, top tier talent who I'm sure are very picky when it comes to their in-ears are using for audio in-ears. So I am very, very grateful to be part of that, and to be able to use it. And I see what they see in these in-ears. As far as cases, you have your options of cases. I love hockey, and I love hockey puck cases, and they put your name in there, and they've been amazing. I literally use them every day, aside from, you know, tracking in my studio over here, and aside from gigging, I use them literally all the time to listen to my own music and to listen to other people's music. And so they really help me get a good feel for what a good balance is, especially if I'm checking a mix or something. So I cannot recommend these enough. If you are in the market for new in-ear monitors, I highly recommend checking out FIR Audio and checking out their Frontier series of in-ear monitors. Really, really top quality, and I'm a huge fan, and here they are. And I am now going to go track some guitars with them. So have a great day.